What's up, Fuzzballs? It's the Fantastic Fuzz again, coming at you with another video. Now, originally I was going to do this one about AGT, the Judge Cuts, but I've decided to wait until the Judge Cuts are over to, give you my thoughts on that, because I really can't say much about one episode now, can I? Instead, I wanted to talk to you guys about a new show that's come on NBC. It's called Bring the Funny. And for those of you who don't know, it's a competition show for comedy acts, stand-up comics, variety acts, sketch acts, like they do on Saturday Night Live and all that. And its three judges are Kenan Thompson, who I have been watching ever since all that was on the air. Probably showing my age a little bit when I say that. Then there's Chrissy Teigen, who I really don't know that much about, other than that she's married to John Legend. I mean, I hear she's a big presence on social media, which is kind of weird considering I don't use social media very much. Yeah, I'm that guy. But apparently she's very popular, very funny, and very fun to hang out with. So, there you go. And then the third judge is Mr. Jeff Foxworthy, the king of redneck comedy himself. I mean, first stand-up movie I ever watched was Jeff Foxworthy's You Might Be a Redneck. I have been hearing You Might Be a Redneck jokes for years, ever since I was a little kid. And I've watched all the blue-collar comedy movies, and I did watch the Jeff Foxworthy show for a little while, although it probably would have been a lot better if it wasn't set in Indiana. I mean, just saying. But anyway, it's hosted by a woman named Amanda Seales, who I had never heard of before, but apparently she's a stand-up comic as well, and I probably should watch some of her stuff just to get a better idea of who she is. But aside from them, you've got a whole bunch of acts, stand-up comics, like I said, sketch comedies, like they do on Saturday Night Live, and then variety, which is music and stuff like that. And some of the acts are really hilarious. There's one, Frangela. I'd heard of them I think it was either on MTV or VH1. They did some top 20 or top 10 countdown that they were doing. I thought they were really funny, but then I saw their routine. It was just the two of them. They were a couple friends in a movie theater watching a horror movie, of course. Of course, we all know how those end, and they're just talking, interrupting the show, and and finally Angela gets a phone call, and come to find out Francis butt dials her. I mean, it's not really self-deprecating humor, it's just them pointing out how they really are in real life, I guess. But it's hilarious to watch. Another funny act was Jared Fell. He's a comedy magician. Now, he claims he's not so great at magic. He's actually better at comedy, so he became more of a comedian than a magician. I guess just a comedian that does magic, whatever you want to call it. But he calls this guy up on stage. He asks the guy for his wallet and calls it the easiest pickpocketing ever. And then he pickpockets the guy 4 or 5 times. He takes the wallet away. He gives the guy his phone. He takes the phone back, puts the wallet in another pocket, and steals the guy's glasses. And for the last part of his act, he actually steals the guy's belt and his watch. I mean, you really have to watch it to really laugh at it. I know I'm not making it sound that funny, but trust me, it is hilarious. And then we've got JK Studios. They're a sketch comedy group. Like I said, kind of like Saturday Night Live. They did a sketch where all of them were on a kid's show. One of the cast members doesn't show up, and so the sound guy volunteers to help out, but they do the intro song called We Are the Fun Friends, and during the song, we find out that the sound guy is actually a conspiracy theorist. He's talking about stuff like Tupac's alive, and Walmart is a portal in North Korea, and stuff like that, and Glenn Close is actually George Washington time traveling. And they're all freaking out like, what are you doing to our show, man? We're about to get canceled anyway. Well, then the guy he replaced shows up, and come to find out, all of his conspiracy theories, well, at least 2 of them were true, because the guy claims that he fell through a portal at Walmart and then was rescued by Tupac. I mean, just you have to watch it to fully get it, because it's hard to explain, but it is just hilarious. And then you've got Randy Feltface. Now, Randy Feltface is a puppet. He's a purple puppet with an Australian accent, but the thing about most puppet shows, you see puppets doing these weird, crazy things, and all Randy Feltface does is just walk around telling a story like a stand-up comic. And he tells this story that is so relatable. It's about being in line at the grocery store, and he tells about when he was in line to use the self-checkouts because he didn't want to stand in line for the regular checkouts, and he can only stand there and watch, laughing as the man in front of him is losing his patience with the other people in line. I mean, again, you'd have to watch it to really get it. And then another one is Michael Longfellow. Michael Longfellow talks about his parents being divorced and how he had to grow up in a broken home, and, you know, how his dad was a single dad. Well, he also mentions that he used to shower with his father. Yikes. I'm pretty sure that the majority of us do not have this memory, and after hearing him tell it, we're probably better for it. But then he talks about that traumatic day when he saw a side of his father that he never wanted to see and probably never wants to see again. No, definitely doesn't want to see again. And it's just, again, it's funnier when he tells it. I'm no comedian, so I can't make stuff like that sound funny. But then one more is Morgan Jay. Now, Morgan Jay is a musical comedian, but the song he did was a song called It's a Trap. He's basically talking about one inconvenient truth about relationships, especially heterosexual ones. The inconvenient truth about... Now, before I tell you, just know that I'm not a sexist at all. I believe women and men are equal in all things. But there is still one problem with relationships. Women can still ask men questions that we can't answer. And I'm not saying we can't answer it honestly. I'm saying we can't answer them at all. Because if we tell you, ladies, what you want to hear, you're not going to believe us. And if we tell you what you don't want to hear, you're going to be mad. So we're pretty much hosed either way. And as we go through life, we realize there's only one correct answer to all those questions. Regardless of whether you believe us or not, it's the one we got to use. I mean, I'm not in a relationship now, so I don't think I have to worry about that. But I know there's a lot of you guys out in YouTube world who are, and you do have to worry about that. I'm just... Ladies, please give your dudes a break. And of course, Morgan puts this in a song. It is hilarious, but very poignant at the same time. if that makes any sense. Anyway, I'm just gonna put the links to some of these videos down in the description so you guys can watch them later on, because I know I'm not doing a very good job doing justice to these things. They are hilarious, and if you like them, please watch the show. It is the funniest hour you will spend on Tuesday nights, trust me. But anyway, I'm the Fantastic Fuzz, and if you like this video, just click on subscribe, get your notifications, and I'll post new videos every week. And until then, laugh it up, fuzzballs!